Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the review. Today we're going to talk about the G.I. Joe Classified Lieutenant Falcon. Now, I know some of you guys are going to call him Ugly Falcon. It be like that sometimes, but I will say this, and this is not in defense of the sculpt because he does have a very large head. But the first thing I thought of was in the IDW comic books when Falcon got shot through the face and they had to like reconstruct his jaw afterwards. So I'm gonna call him Strong Jaw Falcon from the IDW comics because he definitely had a point where he was shot through the face. So that was a pretty cool story in GI Joe. So that's why I'm gonna run with that one because that one works for me. Reading out of the comics. But for those of you that don't read the IDW stuff with Larry Hama, that's totally fine. It is what it is. But I know a lot of you people are not happy with this scope, so I just want to knock that out of the way because I know y'all fixate on it. So, with furthermore being said, let's talk about this. Now, what's really cool is that technically this is on the Recondo body, but you get these new parts right here. So you have this new bandolier, you have the knife that's not removable, you have this waist area, but the slimmer body really does look really good and functions really, really well. So we can still hit our T-pose. We still have tons of articulation. We lose a little bit of that with the scarf, so I'm not always going to keep my scarf off everything, but yeah, you do get a lot of movement here, right? Torso, you get your forward ab crunch, you get your backwards, your reverse crunch, you have your lower waist movement, which mine was pretty tight, but I've actually loosened it up quite a bit. You got our drop down legs, which can hit the 90 degrees. We'll have our leg swivel, or thigh swivel, I'm sorry. We have our double joint. These are really tight on mine, although them being pinless. Then we have our boot swivel and ankle pivot. So you'll get a ton of articulation where you to the point where you can technically be Spider-Man if you wanted to, right? Look at that, Spider Falcon, right? You can get utterly ridiculous with this thing, but I know again, this is some of you guys talking about the sculpt where honestly, it's not that ugly. It's just a very large head. It really is just large head, and I think because of it, it probably makes it look a little unproportioned. But I don't have a problem with the sculpt itself. It just looks like a very stoic dude, which is what he was. He's a very stoic dude. Now we have our bicep swivel. We have our beautiful butterfly joint. Now mine's is a little stiff, but it's really all there. It's really nice. Let's get a little bit of focus on it. There we go. So mine's is a little stiff. We have beautiful seamless articulation there. We have on our left hand, we have a vertical peg. Same is on the right, so it's universal. We have a vertical peg, but again, the really cool part about this is that we are using that Recondo body, and he looks pretty solid. The only thing is that with these, you lose a lot of that nice look. I just don't like the way the bandolier kind of gets, well, the two bandoliers get really loose depending on what you're doing. It does keep the figure in check, but it doesn't look good when you're doing certain poses, especially not, you know, a running pose or anything like that. But I'll try to make it work. Either way, it's not that bad. It's not as terrible as people are making it out to be. It's like I said, tons of articulation, tons of movement. And if you like Recondo, maybe what you can do is you can probably use your extra Recondo stuff to add on to your Falcon in case it looks too plain for you, right? But without further ado, what we are going to do is jump into his accessories, talk about it with Falcon. So let's get to it. Now, accessory-wise, your boy is a little light, but he does come with his trademark green beret because Falcon is a green beret. And I think with popping this on, it does make the head look a little bit smaller, a little bit more generic as well too. But depending on how you're going to angle it, right, it definitely could work in your favor, how you finagle that. It's just one of those things where between where the collar is, like this scarf and the green beret, it's a lot. But like, let's say we pop this off and we pop the head on. Let's see if it makes it look a little bit better. See, this is a little bit better. I like this look a little bit better. Makes the head still a little bit stuffy. But with that, right? Excuse me. You can still get a little bit more movement and range. Makes it look, you know, because sometimes people do have big ass heads. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. But if you got a big ass head, you got to run with it sometimes, right? And this time it's Falcon, right? Now, we're going to jump into the rest of his accessories. Like I said, I've taken this off just to show you guys. But this is also technically an accessory that comes straight out on him. But we're not going to talk about that. We are going to talk about his shotgun. Now, I'm not... Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. So, this is one of those things where I was worried at first, so I heated it up. But he does have a beautiful shotgun where you can kind of flip this over. And I love the idea of this. I'm not sure what this is called, but I know this is... Oh, this flips too. Oh. All right. So I didn't know it did that. So that's actually really, really cool that is on a hinge. Both of these. So I'm not sure what kind of... I'm not sure what that's called. This is actually a fairly new thing to me. But I was pretty excited about that. So that's actually pretty cool that his shotgun comes with this. This might be better than Flint's shotgun. What's up with all the guys in green coming with shotguns? So, next we have our backpack. So we have rope, we have canteens. This is like our go-to backpack. I'm assuming we're going to go with the radio. We also have a hunting knife that is storable inside. Right? And we're going to pop that on back. Right? And it's wild too because even when you think back to like Falcon being a part of stuff, my man's first mission was like during the Cobra Civil War. And then he got quick kick killed. Like it's a lot. It's a lot, dog. But like it's crazy in the comics, like the G.I. Joe continuity. So it's always fun to check out those kind of things. You really, really should. I highly recommend you check out the Marvel comic stuff and the IDW Real American Hero if you haven't. But yeah, man, like it's fun. But that's it for his accessories. Sorry for me getting all comic booky on you. But yes, next up, let's talk about our size comparisons. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, now we're going to jump into the size comparison. I think the first thing I wanted to do was show it off next to Recondo since they share a body type, right? I believe it's the same legs, the same upper torso, just in different colors with different add-on accessories. Let's see if we can get a bit of focus. There we go. Seems like Recondo has a smaller head, but more shapely head, I should say, because technically it's the same size as Falcon's. It's just that Falcon just has a wide face. So yeah, there you have that, right? So let's take this guy away. Next up, let us do Snake Eyes and a Cobra Python Patrol officer. So you can see how Snake Eyes kind of stands up, as well as a Python Patrol officer who is having trouble standing right now. He's got a lot going on. Same with Snake Eyes, right? So there we go with these guys. Right? Looking pretty good. Next up, we'll do... we could do Outback. Also in the same wave as Lieutenant Falcon. And I love the ginger-haired version. Like, it's really nice. Just in case you wanted to get a female character in there. Here is CoverGirl. Let's remove these two. Next up, we'll do a Crimson Bat. And we know bats are a little bit bigger. But, they out here for the Red Fury. Next up, let us do some Valiverse. Here's my boy Rollout. Heavily armed, looking next to Falcon. I love the idea of those two together hanging out. Oh, I forgot about this guy right here. Here we are with G.I. Joe Slaughter. Slaughter's a big boy. Here we are with a Mezco Me. Right? As you can see, he squares off pretty well with Mezco. Then you have stuff like Mythic Legions, just in case you get drawn off to a different world, or you want to compare it to Serpentor, who's gigantic as well. Right? Because G.I. Joe classified Serpentor is like really, really big. Like, no lie. It's like gigantic. And I think that about sums up most of it. But, in case you are wondering, here's Killswitch from Valiverse as well. She aims up pretty well next to him. And then, let us do a male Marvel Legend for your fellow Hasbro people. Right now I have Moonmate, the MCU version. So here's MCU Moonmate next to Falcon. Right? Pretty decent, guys. Moonmate, Falcon, Falconmate, right? Fusion, Infinity Warps. So yeah, there I go talking comics again, but don't mind me. I'm starting to finally feel better, or maybe it's because I'm hopped up on Dayquil. But either way, I want to say thank you to you guys, because without you guys, without you watching, no one would care, obviously, and you guys care just enough to keep me going, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you And just in case anybody didn't tell you today, that's pretty important. Somebody cares. So please, I hope you're doing well. I hope you treat yourself well. And I know times could be difficult or they could be easy. But always remember, there's always tomorrow. Try again. So as always, be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.